All right, guys, we're back live streaming yet again here at Lanes Raceway. The Hometown Heroes class here coming up shortly as we see the cars getting lined up here. Just checking my audio here to make sure all of the audio is coming in good. Get this baby over here moved. Probably pretty close right there. Change back over to chat. Looks like we got some spam coming off of Twitch. We're going to go ahead and block that. But we are live streaming YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We got 8 of the 9 cars seated out there. On deck is going to be Nathaniel Burton. He's going to help track marshal while that's going on. Same old deal right now. 3 strikes, you're out. You guys know the deal. We're just going to wait on the racers here for a moment. Special thanks to our sponsors for the 4 Crowns, Fairview IT Management, and Livermore Subway. John says, fire your engines. Guys, we're ready to go when y'all are. We see Randy Kirtley there, Guillermo Sire, and James McCutcheon there. Several of the guys moving their stuff over from the blue track. They've already been teched. Their motors are stamped. Their chassis are stamped. They've all passed the legal limits to be able to race here in Heights. They're running the Caveman open wheel modified bodies here that we sell at Lanes Raceway. Running the 1-inch tires front and back from Mid-America, the hard body tires. And it makes them look good. Change it. It'll be the green track. That TV in the middle is the north TV. No, the clicker's down there on the aluminum cans. Is there a weight limit here? John says. No, there is no weight limit. I'll get it after we run the first heat. Racers, are you ready? All right, here we go. Watch your lights. You guys know the deal. 3 strikes, you're out. But no, John, there is no weight limit. They can put weight on the inside of the cars and stuff like that. As we get a stalled car there on blue, not moving. We'll see our first strike here. We'll have to figure out what's up with that car. Well, who put the cars in? That's on you, T. No, he don't. If it's our fault, he don't got a strike. Sorry, guys. So no strike there for blue. T, when she was putting the cars out there, did not have him slotted in the blue lane. A big, wide open, hard hit in the high portion of the track there. It looks like a car completely destroyed in pieces here. I couldn't tell you whose car it is that's destroyed, but somebody's stuff is destroyed, to say the least. We're going to see some of these strikes here, see who they are. We know red and blue definitely getting strikes here. Red, blue, and green. So red or blue now has a strike. Red, blue, green, and orange. Looks like orange getting one. Big wreck, big wreck. 4 red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. Got another hard hit up in the high banks. 2 cars getting involved. Coming out of the S or the crooked track there, can make the back end slide side to side there a little bit. If they get involved with each other, they will go flying. Okay, so red flag condition here for Sean. This will be his first button press. He will still get a strike, but at least it'll just be one as he works on his car. Now, that is his second strike there. And then we look at Yellow Lane receiving a strike here. That's Guillermo Sire. That'll be his first. In the meantime, guys, if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys for tuning in to the live stream here. It helps out a bunch and gets these guys recognition for their slot car prowess, to say the very least. James yelling at Sean, telling him he's got 35 seconds. I think Sean's body might have been the one that took the biggest hit. 10 seconds. He's going to have to try to get that car back around. He's got plenty of time, though, as he gets his car seated back on orange there. And that is it. Perfect timing there. As 4 red lights drop out to green, we're going to go back green racing here. Our leader right now, Randy Kirtley, down on purple lane. Below him, Gabriel Kirtley on black as they race side by side going past the start-finish line. Black makes its move out front. Now Gabriel Kirtley in the lead. Randy Kirtley to follow. Gabriel Kirtley getting involved in the incident as he comes out of the crook of the track and slams into a guy, narrowly missing Randy Kirtley. So several guys going to take a look at their cars here. He's been working on his car here today, and he's been having issues with it. See the track dog there. Oh, Cheesy Gordita there in the upper left-hand portion behind the gate. He's watching the race too. Black and blue getting strikes. So that's blue second, black's first. We see Randy Kirtley now in the lead. Guillermo Sire in second now. That's how quick it was to lose that position. As we get a rider condition here. Let's see who that is. That's going to be green receiving a strike. That's green's second. Randy Kirtley back in the lead now on purple lane. So he stays narrowly ahead of Guillermo Sire by about 6 car lengths there in the high banks. A car getting yoinked off the top of the track there. That's going to be Little Gunna Man's going to come out. That'll be his third strike there on green. So we're halfway through the heat now, and we got a race pursuing here. Coming up on the high side yellow there on purple, Randy Kirtley and Guillermo still side by side. Randy holding off by about a car length. Guillermo wanting to make a move, but having trouble here as Randy's not giving him an inch here. But he's wanting to make that move around the straight stretch. He's got about a car length worth of speed extra going through the crook of the track than Randy. But Randy's holding him off and keeping pretty good, smooth times here. Now spreading that up just a little bit by about 5 or 6 cars as the motors tend to warm up a little bit as they continue to go. We see Guillermo Sire's car dropping off there on yellow a little bit as he's side by side now with Gabriel Kirtley down on black lane. Randy Kirtley having a little bit of an encroach there on blue lane from James McCutcheon, but now back underway. Purple lane and yellow tightening up as purple comes into contact with black lane of Gabriel Kirtley. Randy Kirtley's going to hang on to second position as Gabriel Kirtley takes over first by about 6 car lengths in the crook of the track. We're going to take a look here at the strikes here. Go ahead and clear those out. A very eventful race, to say the least, as we head over to the track mate. And we can see 3 guys on the lead lap, and those are those 3 guys coming out of Dead Man's Corner to the crook of the track. That's the difference between these guys. Gabriel Kirtley in first, 56. Randy second, 56. And third, right behind Randy in the Dead Man's Corner, 56. Fourth position, Jay Latham, 53. He's been a force to be reckoned with in this class since the very beginning. We'll see how things shape up for him when he gets down on the lower lanes. Jay has had an exceptional circle track car this whole season long. Sean McCutcheon right below him with 50 laps. Glenn Burden, 46 there on red lane. And James McCutcheon, 45, 7th position. Gunnar Vender, 23. And then we also have Nathaniel, who's yet to run. So let me clear that off there so you guys can see. And he'll be coming in on red lane next heat. Special thanks to our sponsors here at Lanes Raceway, Fairview IT Management out of Owensboro and Bowling Green, Kentucky for all your computer needs. And Livermore Subway for the best subs in town. Come to Livermore Subway. Get you one right now. We got a special deal. Cheese, Southwest Steak and Cheese, $6.99. Chips and a drink for $6.99. And a 6-inch sub of your, or not of your choice, but of Southwest Steak. Man, I'm just getting all befumbled. Gabriel Kirtley there with the Guillermo Sire pit caddy there on the edge of the track. These guys are going to have to get used to that because coming up next series, we're going to be practicing up for the upcoming Flexi Challenge Series. Have a good race here. Maybe be able to compete with some of the best in the world, hopefully. That's the hope anyway. But if you guys ever raced against some of the guys in the Flexi Challenge Series, you know they are not no pushovers, to say the very least. But we do got some pretty good guns here. Guillermo Sire, Randy Kirtley, Glenn Burden, and Gabriel Kirtley. Those would be my 4 that I would probably put the most faith in, as we see a pit caddy still hanging off the edge of the track there on Dead Man's Corner, and that car might have actually hit it. I don't know what they're saying right now, but it's pretty funny. So is Guillermo's. So Guillermo hit his own pit caddy. Yellow and orange taking strikes here. We're back green flag racing. Now, when the new series comes, we will not be shutting the track off. So the guys are going to have to track marshal live track marshal to get ready for that, as that's how the Flexi Challenge is ran. So we definitely want to do that. Guillermo Sire taking a look here at what I believe to be his car on orange lane. Yellow, of course, receiving that lap, so he's going to get pushed on through. And orange is going to receive a strike. Now, that is Guillermo Sire's second strike, so he's definitely going to have to lessen the load here with such a time-related left. Red lights out, and we're going back green racing. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch chats are live. If you guys want to come in, chat, and hang out, talk about anything. We don't necessarily have to talk about slot cars, but if you want to talk about slot cars, I do have some knowledge in that. I'm not going to say I'm the most knowledgeable by no means, as technology is always changing, especially in the slot car realm. But we can talk about anything. Randy Kirtley there in the lead, 75 laps. Gabriel Kirtley, 74. 72, Guillermo Sire. minute left to go in the heat. We're halfway through. Randy Kirtley's hanging on to it down there on Black Lane. We're going to see, where is Jay Latham? Well, Jay Latham, one that's been winning the past couple weeks, he is out. Supposed to be a track marshal, but I think Bo's got his attention here before Bo leaves there in the upper left-hand portion of the track. He just hasn't yet made it there. Glenn Burden telling Jay to get over there and start track marshaling. So that kind of freed Jay up there a little bit. Bo McPherson heading on out. Bo comes here. He runs the rookie class here every once in a while. Strikes there on Blue. Blue's first strike. Jay Latham with a Screaming Eagle shirt. Jay there checking out his fan base, as he's one of the more popular racers here at Lanes Raceway. Currently the king of Lanes Raceway. As we get a yellow flag / red flag, but I think there's still a hair of a second left on there. We're not even going to register these strikes unless orange is on there. If orange is, that'll be their third. But just for speed purposes, they're not going to move. We're not even going to call that. But that would have been 3 strikes for orange. And that is a heat over. We're going to go ahead and clear the strikes. Couldn't even get back to the main screen before we had to clear it. Track made here. Randy Kirtley, 114, 112. Gabriel Kirtley, 108. Guillermo Sire, top 3. 100 for Sean McCutcheon. 99 for James McCutcheon. 96 for Glenn Burden. 79 for Gunnar Vender. 53 for Jay Latham. 47 for Nathaniel Burden. Of course, these are going to change as we progress through. Won't really get a real good number till about at least the 6th or 7th heat here, as we only have 9 racers here. Nonetheless, we'll let you watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you. All right, folks, we're back green racing. Sorry, I had to yawn there for a second. It looks like Sean McCutcheon is going to be off here, as he's going to be track marshaling for the next heat. Black Lane looks like it's going to be taking a strike here alongside green. So black and green getting strikes here. We're back green racing. Randy Kirtley currently in the lead there on yellow lane as he comes to chase in on that green lane of Nathaniel. He's able to make that pass on the exit of Dead Man's Corner. White going to receive a strike here. Gabriel Kirtley there in second on orange lane. And he's got a fast car there, definitely. Got a lane. Randy Kirtley caught up in some traffic. So he goes to make the pass there on blue and makes a nice clean pass on Glenn. He's hanging on to the lead by 2 laps, but Gabriel Kirtley's making it an issue here. Both of their medians within 600ths of a second. So we get a car coming off the track leaking down low, and before the button could get hit, 2 cars involved in an incident. So that's going to be a strike on black and a strike on red. Red's first, black's second. Like I said, in the upcoming series here, the strikes are going to be gone away with. We'll see Sean trying to free up so that the camera can see the track there a little bit. We appreciate that, Sean. You guys can see the whole track that way. Yeah, good tight racing, though, for sure. Within 3 laps to first to second. Guillermo would have been a lot tighter, though, if he didn't get involved in incidents that he did. But now up there on white lane, we're going to see him lose a little bit. He's actually 6 down from Gabriel Kirtley currently. But as you guys can tell, these guys know the oval track pretty good. And with it being a small to moderate size oval, you don't have as much cheating taking place. I mean, that's kind of a dirty word, but nobody can really cheat the motors up to get too far out of balance here. It's just tougher because it's smaller, because the motors can't get up to a higher RPM. So I'd say really, I mean, this is not super small, but it's not super big. It's about the best for an oval. If I could do one thing different, it would be to actually make the track the way it's supposed to be, and that tri-oval needs to be at where the racers are currently, and the racers need to be on the other side, and it needs to go to the left. But other than that, it's a good track. Not bad at all. The way this track's set up, you're technically supposed to go to the right, which is kind of weird. And that's going to be a heat over. We're going to go ahead and clear the strikes out of the system here. Nothing too eventful in that heat other than some good hometown racing. Hometown hero leader right now, 169 for Randy Kirtley, 165 Gabriel Kirtley, 159 Guillermo Sire there in third position. Fourth position, 152 James McCutcheon, 150 for Glenn Burden, 138 for Gunnar Bender, 104 for Jay Latham, and 100 for Sean McCutcheon, and 96 for Nathaniel Burden. Speaking of Sean McCutcheon, he come off of himself a third place drag race podium last night, and he got best light off of our little specialty Insta-tree. He ran a wing car to do so. So, you know, you don't have to have a drag car to drag race, folks. And Sean made that perfectly clear last night with the wing car. So he threw I believe it's Group 20 wing car on there. And like I said, ended up getting third position and light money last night. So if you guys are interested in drag racing, it's not as complicated as you think. Just get you a car and have fun. That's all you got to do. You don't have to have one of these special $400 or $500 cars. We run bracket race, open box. Just get you one, enter it in. If you like it, get you another car, enter you a couple. You can enter the same car over and over again, but then you're going to run into issues of the motor overheating if you get back to back or something like that, to where you have to run twice in a row or something. It's going to start shooting off on its numbers. But nonetheless, we got stuff to set you up if you want to build out a drag car. Jeremiah just come in earlier and got some stuff, and he's going to be building out a drag car, and I'm excited for him. He got the JDS Hammerhead chassis, and he got him a block to work on it. So I'm excited to see what Jeremiah's able to do. I'm kind of sad that we didn't have a full bottle of Flux for him, but we gave him one of our older bottles with pretty much the reason that we get new Flux is because somebody ends up getting my Flux and laying it on a hot chassis and melts the little fingernail polish end on it. So anyways, It'll serve him well. He'll make a good chassis. I'm excited to see what he makes up and brings in here. He's also got me contracted to do the new whole shot bar car, so excited about that too. So we see our first car coming off in 20 seconds. Yellow's going to take a strike here. They're over making fun of Glenn for setting the car so far back from the start finish line. That kind of cracks me up. These racers do crack me up, fellas and ladies. They crack me up sometimes. Some of the small things they do to each other just makes me laugh. Randy Kirtley in the lead by 4 laps. Gabriel Kirtley there in second as we see Glenn moving up into third position in front of James McCutcheon. James McCutcheon right there behind him on the same lap, just a few car lengths behind. Gunnar Vender right behind him by about 6 or so laps. Jay Latham behind him by 30 or so laps. So that's where we're starting to see the cutoff there from where people had to set out. So from Jay down, those are set outs basically. Nobody's had to actually get 3 strikes on this one. We're going to see a strike there on Black Lane though. We're over halfway through the heat now and almost halfway through this race. As Randy Kirtley's hanging on to it now with 200 total laps. And the car coming off Black Lane, taking out another one with him. I want to see Gunnar Bender definitely take a strike there off Black. That'll be his second. Looks like 2, maybe 3 cars. I thought it was just 2, but yeah, just 2, maybe. Glenn Burton messing with Gabriel again as he goes to put Gabriel's car in the dead strip. If you haven't noticed, this is why I think it's funny. Because Glenn's messing with Gabe. Glenn and Gabe used to go to the big dirt track together all the time. As we see another issue there, looks to be with Gabriel's car on White Lane. That'll be his second strike. He needs to take a look at the braid on that thing. So purple, orange, green taking strikes. All right. And Gabriel's car deciding to take a hard right there yet again out of White Lane. Possible bent chassis there as he'll receive his third strike. See another car coming off here. That's going to be James McCutcheon's third or second. James, that's 2. Gunner Vendor here coming off. He did? Well, I only got him as 2. Red going to receive a strike. And I guess the other one was Gunner. And Gunner's on black. That would have been his 3rd. 10 seconds left. Looks like they're going 3 wide down in Dead Man's Corner. Orange Lane holding his back end. Could have easily took Jay out, but decided to race clean. Very respectful, to say the least. We're going to go ahead and clear out these racers. Head over to the track mate here. See Randy Kirtley in the lead, 222. Second place, Glenn Burton, 204. Gabriel Kirtley, 201 in third. 198 for James McCutcheon, 190 for Gunner Vendor, 159 for Gunner Vendor, or Guillermo Sire, 158 for Jay Latham, 150 tied for Nathaniel and Sean. Special thanks to our sponsors, Fairview IT Management and Livermore Subway, for sponsoring 4 Crowns, adding $2,000 to the pot. Gale Force Raceway, hey guys, man, that was a lot of strikes. Yeah, it was. That's abnormal for this class, to say the least, Gale. It's these guys are wrecking a lot tonight. Hopefully, we won't have that issue on the blue track. We just freshly glued every one of the corners on the blue track, so hopefully things will work out a little bit better coming up in the next couple races. And that's mostly what we've been seeing here is the guys have been practicing on the blue track. Sometimes they can throw rhythm off on the other tracks. If you've ever raced any kind of slot car racing, you know that once you get used to a certain track, it's like, man, all the other tracks kind of become foreign to you, at least for the first couple heats or so. And I'm hoping that's what it is. Then again, it is kind of a gloomy day here in Livermore, but it's pleasant outside. I'd say it's probably 55, 60 degrees outside. It ain't bad at all. But it is gloomy, and that makes people tired. Sometimes they just don't react as quick as they'd like when they're tired. So 4 red lights are dropping out to a green. Here we go. And Gabriel Kirtley now on deck as he sees 5, 3, or 4. I don't know how many cars there in the high banks coming off. So here's some more strikes for you, Gail. Guys are taking some hits and never quits. So orange, yellow. Make sure I get them all. Orange, yellow, black. Big hit. A lot of wrecks here today in the high banks too. It seems like the guys are just, a lot of them are on their set of tires for probably the past 3 or 4 weeks here lately. And usually they change before that, but they're trying to get one more race, and I think the tires are just giving out on them. So we see a car what looks like just going straight on from Dead Man's Corner here. And that's going to be a strike on green. They're first. And yet another incident in the high banks coming out of the crook of the track. The back end's getting a little swafty there as we see a couple people getting involved in incidents. Looks like pieces of the bodies even flying off here. 2 cars getting toted back to the start-finish line here. Gabriel Kirtley's got them both. We'll see where they are, and we'll give them strikes accordingly. Blue lane getting a strike, and orange. So that's orange second strike, blue's first. So we're definitely going to see orange here. Going to take some strike. Gale Force Raceway says, all those tracks, man, that's a full day of racing. It is, and here's the crazy part. You know, these guys keep the lights on burning here at Lanes Raceway. Most of these guys are members here at Lanes, so they're always up to try something a little different. That's two strikes there for yellow, but yeah, everybody I see up there right now is a member here at Lanes Raceway, and it benefits you to be a member. Um, if you're not a member, the races are quite a bit more expensive. But that's the whole point. We want you to be members. We want you to come and fill the track out. We want these guys to have somebody to race against. We did have stuff set up before where we didn't have membership plans and stuff like that for guys to get involved, and it was hard to fill races out. We were getting 2, 3 races when we were first starting, but then we changed it to memberships, and now we don't have hardly any issues on Sundays filling tracks and stuff like that. And it actually lowered the price of them racing. If you look at it from a month to month perspective. So basically, where this race normally costs $20 to race in, because it's a pro class live streamed race and all this, uh, our normal races are $10, but they pay out track bucks if you get four or more. But this race here that they're racing in would be a $20 race non-member. Um, so if you do the math, it gets up there. Gale4 says, well, if I leave now, should be there for Tuesday. Enjoy, fellas. I got to get some race stickers mailed out. Hey, I appreciate it, Gale Force. Thanks for stopping by, man. Red and green going to take strikes there. That's red's second and green's second. Halfway through the heat here. We got round robin 5 of 9, so we are over halfway here in the circle race. Gale Force Raceway says, cheers, friend. Cheers to you, Gail. Good luck on getting those stickers mailed out. I know how much of a task it is getting stuff mailed out. Have a great Sunday. And Randy Kirtley there still hanging on to that lead. Glenn Burden now behind him there on Black Lane, running his heart out. 2.142 and 2.19. Now Glenn, he's got him a new car for the 72 pitch. We put it together, and I was driving it. Now I've been out of it for a little bit, but I do believe that the car Glenn's got is quick. The only issue that I got with it is I couldn't drive it. I just could not drive it. And it's all set up really low. It should be driving on rails. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm just rusty. And I'm really not used to the flat track. But it could be a good car for the flat track. I don't know. Glenn told me he liked it, so uh, we're going to leave it at that. 272 lead, Randy Kirtley. Second place, Glenn Burton, 258. 214, Jay Latham for your top three. James McCutcheon right there behind him, 212, 209 for Guillermo Sire, 207 for Nathaniel, 206 for Gunnar Vender, 201 Gabriel Kirtley, and 199 for Sean McCutcheon. Heading back over here to the Oval, let you guys watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you here very shortly. T, can you give me a Mountain Dew, please? Baja me up. Yeah, I'll take a Baja. Baja me up. Blast me down. I'm about to blast off over here. About to shut off. Yeah. What's going on? All right. Red flag it. Red flag conditions. Gonna dry the track. All right, folks, we're in a red flag condition, waiting on some braid to dry here. Uh, so we're going to kind of file this. It's kind of a new thing here. We're going to file it under the scrape rule. So if you guys remember a couple weeks back about the scrape rule, is that if any of the guys call a guy saying, hey, you're back in scraping, then they got to go get tires. If they choose not to, they get disqualified. But if they choose to change those tires and get it out there, then they won't receive a strike, because we're trying to protect the track here. Because these issues with the braid coming up and stuff like that is from scraping and just rough handling of the track when cars wreck and stuff like that. So since Glenn hit the button for the specific reason, he didn't have a car messed up or nothing like that, but he hit it for the specific reason to save the track, he will not receive a strike. So as soon as we're ready to go back green racing, I'll be back over here and we'll get this race rolling. But until then, just hang out like these guys are. You see Randy and Guillermo there just staring at the stars, waiting on the race to get back underway, but we're under a red flag condition. All right, guys, sorry about the delay as the track came up there a little bit. We had to get her glued back down. She's glued, she's ready. So the racers are going to head back over. All right, racers, whoever hit the button, hit that baby. Got a minute and 58 seconds left in the heat here. Of course, this causing the race to run just a little bit long, but gave everybody a little bit extra of a break. And now that we are moving along a little bit quicker here at Lanes Raceway because of the time in between the race, really ain't losing much time here. Right now it's 4:19, and we've already got 2 races down, pretty much. Not bad at all. And we only got 2 races left to go, so the new rules and stuff working out pretty good for sure. As we see a car coming off here, they're going to receive a strike, and that's going to be on blue lane. I did receive some information last night that a track in Bowling Green is getting shut down, and they had a drag strip up there in an oval. But then I'd heard that another track possibly is going to be firing back up in Bowling Green, so that's good news too. Bowling Green's about an hour away from where we're at. But there's just a spot in me every time I hear that track shut down that, it's a mixed bag of feelings. Like, I get a feeling of, like, the first feeling is it makes me angry. The second feeling is like I'm sad, because the first feeling is like I just automatically assume that, you know people are butts, and they make the money and then they sell the track out and leave a bunch of people stranded with a bad taste in their mouth. Well, then the second feeling hits, and it's like all those people without a track. But a lot of times, man, I've noticed just from running my own track, it just comes down to one thing: being able to pay rent. And if you're not able to do it, you know, it puts it in perspective for you. And then I feel a little bit sorry for the track. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I just wish there was more slot car places. I wish there were more family entertainment style places like this that families and friends and, even the skill alike of these older generation wanting to push their skill levels. I just wish there was more places like it. Entertainment definitely dying in the U.S. It seems like, other than like quick entertainment off of social media, TV, stuff like that. Stuff that's not tangible, social. I know they call it social media, but it's really not social. You got to experience each other, you know, in person for it to be social. I mean, the best way I can explain it is this: I remember being a kid when like Xbox Live came to be, and you could actually talk over the microphone with your buddies, and you would always interrupt each other, and there was always just like distance or dissonance between each other, that it was like it wasn't like being there with them linking up Xboxes. When you linked up Xboxes, like, time didn't matter. Like, you wouldn't go home till 3 o'clock in the morning playing Halo with your buddies. But when you're on Xbox chat and you're by yourself, like, you drain power, you know, quicker than when you're with your friends. And I think this is why slot car racing is so much fun for these guys. They don't get tired like you're playing a video game. They get tired because, like, it's a physical draining activity, but they kind of boost each other up to get through it. And when it's all said and done, they're ready to do something else. I mean, I know this for a fact because me and Jay, pretty much every Sunday, uh, if he's not busy, we all go home and we play video games till like 3 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, being social, being around each other is a good thing. And like I said, I'm not, dissing video game time with your friends and stuff by any means. All I'm just trying to say is that it's always a better time when you're with them versus not. And it looks like Orange also going to get a strike there. And that's a red flag rotation. We made it through, guys. Sorry about the track issue. We're going to go ahead and clear out these strikes here. Take a look here at the track mate. Glenn Burden in the lead, 310 laps. Second place there, 273. Jay Latham. Randy Kirtley there in third with 272. 264 for Nathaniel. 261 Tide, Gunner, and Guillermo. 257 James. Sean 252 and Gabriel 201. All right, so my headset died there for a second. I'm back again. Tim Hall says, hey guys. Hello, Tim. Tim was here yesterday. He ended up racing with Blake Panel in a little bitty Saturday race, but you know, it just been them two here yesterday, but a lot of people seen it. A lot of people are excited wanting to get cars and stuff because they heard that we're going to start running some RC races on Saturday. So I'm excited about that, and we're going to try to get some of those cars rolling on Saturdays. Tim says, great. 30 seconds before we go back green racing. We're in round robin 7 of 9 coming up. Randy Kirtley is going to be slotted back in there on red lane. And Gunnar Bender, he's going to be coming off on this one after this race. Brian Bender getting Gunner's car set there on white lane. Coming up next, Fairview IT Cup Series on the blue track. We're pretty excited about that. The last couple of weeks been actually a better race than what we've seen on the 72 pitch. 72 pitch, guys having trouble keeping their cars on. So we'll see if that changes tonight and see if we can get a couple good races on the blue track. As much practice as these guys have had all week long on the blue track. Here's hoping. I love a good smooth race where that it's very, very tight between the guys and nobody wrecks. But to ask for them to never wreck at all, it's going to be a tough thing to do, to say the least. All right, we get our first flag here, and that's going to be from Nathaniel Burden there on yellow. He's going to receive his first strike. Get the yellow flag. A nice coast coming around there on red lane. But that's actually Gunnar Bender's car, and he's going to receive a strike. Glenn Burden still out in the lead there on orange lane. So we see him rolling around Dead Man's Corner here. On his inside, though, we see the blue lane of Guillermo Sire taking a pass and purple of Sean McCutcheon. Ooh, so we see one of them coming off there and actually hitting Glenn on orange. So Glenn there on orange going to take a strike, and red going to take a strike. That's Randy Kirtley. Looks like Glenn forgot to put a sticker on his car. He's going to get put on there now. And I'm going to drink some of this Baja Blast. I seen an interesting survey the other day about chicken wings, and it kind of surprised me that are you a drum guy or are you a flats guy? And it kind of surprised me how many people chose the drums versus the flats. So, the flats is pretty much all meat. You don't ever have to worry about getting a big, huge bite of, fat. So it surprised me that the drumsticks actually won. I know that's kind of off topic, but nonetheless, it just surprised me. It's just one of them things that kind of surprise you. I'm going to head over here to TrackMate. Glenn Burden in the lead, 361 laps, 333 for Jay Latham, 322 for Randy Kirtley, 11 laps different. Nathaniel there in fourth, 319, 317 for Guillermo, 311 for Gunnar Bender, 307 for Sean, 257 for James, 201 for Gabriel retired. Special thanks to our sponsors, Fairview IT Management out on Owensboro, Bowling Green, Kentucky. For all your IT needs, give them a shout in the local area. And Subway of Livermore, give them a shout for a 12-inch long sub sandwich, or try one of their daily meal deals, $6.99 sandwich, chips, and a drink. I'll let you watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you. All right, folks, here we go. Round robin, 8 of 9. Glenn Burton, currently your leader on White Lane. Jay Latham in second. Jay's been winning these left and right through the season here. We'll see if he's got a chance to make a bounce back. So we see Jay actually involved in an incident there with the racer. And Little Gunner trying his best to get that baby put on black, but he couldn't. Sean McCutcheon's going to take that, and then Jay Latham. So Sean and Jay getting strikes. Four red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. Sean McCutcheon having trouble keeping the old car on black. It's wanting to flip over on the exit of Dead Man's Corner there, but it looks like he's got it back under control. And Sean McCutcheon's car coming out again. I didn't know if he was going to make it all the way. I didn't want to say nothing and jinx it. But nonetheless, we see two cars. Looks like Sean McCutcheon and Guillermo Sire are going to be taking strikes here. Now Sean's second strike there on black. 49 seconds left to go in the heat. (16-bit first person view. I like that track. Thank you there, 16. This is a Tunkel track. We ended up getting this out of Tennessee right before we opened up. Got 8 seconds left to go. Looks like Guillermo's going to swap sides with Randy Kirtley there and take over that third position as we see a yellow flag here with 5 seconds left to go. I'm very impressed with how these guys have worked together to get their cars so smooth and running close together with each other. And it's making for a very smooth race, to say the least, as we're going to see a strike there on orange. That'll be their first. 16, if you like this track, you're going to love the World's track that we got right behind the guys there. That big blue track there. It's about 150 foot long. 16-bit, there are no turn marshals because we do a 3-strike system. So if you look at the strike system here, like black lane there, for instance, which was Sean McCutcheon last lane, if he'd have got another strike, he would have had to set out the heat. So whenever they get these strikes, what happens is they're hitting a red button to save their car. On each one of the driver stations, there's a red button wired into the track to kill the track for each one of the racers. And if they hit that button, it kills the whole track for everybody. But when that happens, they receive that strike because they killed the track. And once they get 3 strikes, they're out, just like baseball. We have to head over to TrackMate. Don't know how long we're going to have on TrackMate, but Glenn's in first, 409, 390 for Jay, Guillermo, 375, 374 for Randy Kirtley, 372 Nathaniel, 361 Sean McCutcheon, 311 Gunnar Bender, 305 James McCutcheon, 201 Gabriel Kirtley, retired. Heading back over here to the oval, get the chat going back on here. But yeah, we are going to have track marshals come next series as we're going to practice for the Flexi Challenge series coming here in April. April the 12th is going to be a pretty big day. The Flexi Challenge series coming to Livermore, Kentucky on the World's track there, the one that's right behind this one on the blue looking track there, the flat track. And we're going to set our series up, our next series, which will be our winter series, in relation to that big race when it comes here. Some of the big racing names, that come along with it are guys that run in national races and world's races alike. So we're excited to have those guys come here and visit us and race with us come then. Yeah, it does have a million track calls. We've busted around the ideas of making it less strikes, but you know, the guys ended up not liking it when it was 1 and out. We're missing a track marshal here. There's supposed to be one track marshal picking the cars up. So they're black. Oh, the track marshal's Glenn. Okay. So Glenn's grabbing the cars. Black, green, and yellow. Gonna take strikes here. Looks like another one too. Oh, black, green, and yellow. That was it. 4 red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. Got 2 more coming off here. Looks like Guillermo Sire and Sean McCutcheon. Four red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. And the car sent to the high outside up there on the High Banks track. What a streak these guys had right there. 12 seconds left to go in the heat. Jay Latham right now in the lead, 439 laps, followed by Guillermo Sire, 424. 423 for Randy Kirtley, 418 Nathaniel Burden. Now, Glenn Burden is off right now from the race, so we'll see after this is over. We'll see all 9 racers and see where Glenn ended up falling in. So yellow and blue receiving strikes here. That's yellow's third. So that means the end for Sean McCutcheon. So one of the benefits of having a strike system is if somebody doesn't have their car in good working order, it gets them out of the way of some of the better drivers that do. So we hand up here to the track marshal or track mate here. Jay Latham's going to bring home another win here this week. 445 laps, 429 for Guillermo, 428 for Randy Kirtley, 424 Nathaniel Burden, 412 for Sean McCutcheon, 409 Glenn Burden, 344 for James McCutcheon, 311 Gunnar Vender, and 201 Gabriel Kirtley. Going to clear the strikes out here. All right, folks, that's it for the Hometown Heroes class here at Lanes Raceway. Another week in the bag. I think we got 2 races left to go here in the 4 Crowns, and then we'll be paying out that $4,000 purse here at Lanes Raceway for the 4 Crowns. And we'll also have us a banquet, too, where we'll be giving away big checks and stuff like that, prizes and all that. Nonetheless, guys, thank you guys for tuning into it. Coming up next, we're going to have the Fairview IT Management Cup Series on the World's track here at Lanes Raceway. Hope you guys come and tune into that. If not, and it's the last time I see you, God bless you guys, and I'll see you next week.